Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newest edition of Dale Center NASCAR Betting. I would like to thank everybody for your patience over the past couple weeks. I got really sick and obviously took 1 week off. The last episode I recorded wasn't feeling great, went to Atlanta, got super mega sick, and then the next weekend I just was like, you know what, we're just going to take the weekend off in terms of video content. If you follow me on social media, my video content's been a good bit lower over the past couple weeks. Just that time of the year where you get a little bit of burnout. Doesn't mean the betting work stops. Obviously, we had a great weekend in Sonoma, a phenomenal weekend in Atlanta. It's been a decent, pretty good summer overall due to Atlanta and Sonoma with like basically a flat earning in Chicago. So I just want to say thanks to all my subscribers. Appreciate your patience over the past couple weeks. Feeling good now, looking good now. We're back for Dale Center NASCAR Betting for the AutoTrader EchoPark Automotive 400, which is so weird. I mean, isn't that a Texas? What happened? I feel like this sponsor is always doing Texas Motor Speedway or COTA or whatever. Now they're in Delaware. Interesting. Anyway, Dover Motor Speedway this weekend, NASCAR Cup Series and the NASCAR Xfinity Series. ARCA is happening later today on Friday, the day this is being recorded. I don't bet on ARCA. Just to clarify, maybe somebody's new here. I still get DMs about betting on ARCA. The only book that consistently has ARCA odds, if you want to bet on ARCA, the only book that consistently has ARCA odds is Bovada. I have not used Bovada in a long time, and I don't intend on using it ever again, to be honest with you. But if you want to bet on ARCA, Bovada is the book that has you covered. So check that out if you want to. Before we get started here for Dover, the Monster Mile, I want to give a shout out to Grid Rival. Be sure to click the link in the description below and try out the Picks game that I've won some big money on this year in 2025. Click that link, use promo code DALE to get a deposit matching bonus up to $100. 100% deposit matching bonus up to $100 using promo code DALE over on Grid Rival. Shout out to advanced.gg. We have customized shakers with my face gonna come out. I know that's mainly for the iRacing crowd, the live stream crowd over on Kick, but check that out. Use promo code DALE to get 10% off your advanced premium performance supplement purchase today. Just got a new care package this week. This is going to be some good shit right here. Sorry that the shine's kind of inhibiting what you can see there, but this is Advanced Focus Sour Black Cherry. Going to be really good mixing that up when we do an iRacing stream on Friday night. So check them out. Valued partners of Dale Tanhart on all my social media platforms and YouTube and kick.com as well. So without further ado, Dover. This is an interesting track now because we only come here once a year. It feels a little bit tougher to predict because there's not really a good track comp. And in the NASCAR Cup Series, we have a brand new tire compound on the left side and the right side. Neither, I believe, have been run yet. So practice going to be very important. Obviously, the goal will be more fall off, lay more rubber down on the racetrack. Will we get that? We'll see. It obviously has not worked with Bristol. It's worked with other racetracks. You know, Martinsville's gotten better. New Hampshire, Richmond. We've seen some good tire fall off, better tire fall off than what we had, 4 years ago due to Goodyear's progression. But Dover is interesting. I don't know what to expect with this tire. I don't know how much the racing is going to change. I don't know how much the typical guys who run up front here, how much that's going to change. Kyle Larson's been great here, has never won. This is a good track for Alex Bowman. Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch has been pretty good here overall with RCR. Ross Chastain's been good here. Denny Hamlin is a defending winner. Only won here twice, but has been good here in the Gen 7 era. Arguably the best if you discount what happened in 2022 when they had a fantastic car, lost a wheel, had all sorts of problems, got in an accident. That 2022 year definitely kind of saturates their average finish. And if you go back and watch the last 3 races at Dover, you could make an argument Denny Hamlin's been the best, which is why he is the odds-on co-favorite with Kyle Larson. So, going to be interesting for sure with the new tire. Keep an eye on practice, qualifying, True TV, TNT, whatever it's on. Watch it, evaluate. I think practice lap averages tell a lot at a track like this. And for the most part, another guy I should mention, Chase Briscoe, obviously has been fantastic in qualifying, has had a pretty damn good summer. And that 19 team, Martin Truex, was always very good at Dover. He won here in the Gen 7 era in 2023, ran very, very strong with that exact same team at Joe Gibbs Racing. So Chase Briscoe, maybe another guy to keep an eye on if we're talking Cup. But before we dive deep into Cup, I have a lot of bets that I like. Let's go to Xfinity. The Dover. All right, so this is funny. I love when sports books sponsor races because it's fun to look at all the books and see if they will actually list the competitor sports book on the listing of the race title. Like DraftKings, I'm looking at right now, calls it the Dover 200. It is actually, BetMGM calls it the Dover 200. This race is actually the BetRivers 200 at Dover. So I kind of love checking out all the books. Everyone I'm looking at calls it the Xfinity Dover 200. Like, we're not listing our competitor over at BetRivers. Just a random nugget in my mind. But we have two Cup guys in this race. I say two Cup guys. Eric Almirola, I'm always going to call him a Cup guy, even though he is retired from Cup Series competition. And you have Ross Chastain. Justin Allgaier is a favorite. I'm just not buying in yet with JA, man. I think when you look at the data, he's been great here, right? But he has 2 wins in 24 starts. A lot of top fives, a lot of laps led. For sure the best overall driver at this track, but big problem with sealing the deal for Justin Allgaier. So, just go back, just think about all the times in the past couple years, even longer, where JA has been the favorite, led the most laps, something ridiculous happens. I think it happened in this race last year, actually. So I'm not buying JA plus 270. 2.5 to 1 range, too expensive, too early in the week. I know it's Friday, but pre-practice is my point here. I'm not doing it. So take that as an opportunity, though, because BetMGM, and I expect these to move as soon as I know it's going to happen when I bet these and when I place them. BetMGM is so sensitive. If fucking 10 or 15 of my subscribers bet on what I bet, these lines are going to be nuked. And it doesn't take much to nuke them on BetMGM. That's what's so frustrating. BetMGM, a lot of times, a lot of weekends have fantastic lines. For NASCAR, we talk about it a lot on this program, talking about it a lot in the Dale Center NASCAR Discord. But it's like they react to fucking an $8 bet. And by practice time in the morning, I'm sure these lines won't be the same. But I can already tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bet on Chastain and Almirola. You got 2 Cup guys that are 4 to 1 or better. This has been a great racetrack for Chastain in the Cup Series, by the way. I know he's run runner-up here in Xfinity as well and colleague equipment a few years back. Eric Almirola kind of has the motivation of coming back here because he truly won his first ever NASCAR race here in the Truck Series back in 2010, I believe. 2010, something like that. He's 5 to 1 in Gibbs equipment. I just cannot pass that up. I can't pass that up. I think both these guys, Almirola is going to qualify. He does this every week that he races in Xfinity. He's going to qualify between 7th and 11th, 7th and 12th. But he's going to be good in practice. And typically, Dover is a track that exhibits long runs. And I know Xfinity has had some crazy moments throughout the year. This Dover race in 2024 was crazy. Ryan Truex won it. Definitely didn't think that was going to happen based on how the long run speed was. But you had all sorts of chaos. Sheldon Creed, Austin Hill, Carson Kvapil. It was crazy at the very end. It was a very entertaining race. That is not normal for Dover in the late stages. It's just not normal. So I think the veterans and the best equipment, Chastain, Almirola, you're going to give me 4-1 or better for both of them. I'm going to go ahead and take both of them right now. So by the time you see this, you might already see my Xfinity pre-qualifying betting card launched over on Dub Club. Check that link in the description. We're killing it right now. Just posted a very transparent update to the Dale Club subscribers and over on Twitter. 95.5 units in the green in 2025. And, you know, Cup has been a struggle. Trucks has been kind of a struggle. We've been pretty back and forth. More green than red, but Xfinity's been unbelievable. I mean, I hate to brag on myself, but I'm the best NASCAR Xfinity Series better in the world in 2025. There's no question about it. Nobody is close. With all due respect to everybody else, there's a lot of great cappers out there. There's guys that are probably doing a lot better than me in Cup right now. Because Cup right now, in terms, if you include the Clash, if you include the duels before the regular season began in 2025, we're I think 24 betting cards, we've profited in 12. So we're 50-50, but our wins have been bigger overall than our losses. So we're up 23 units on Cup. Cup qualifying, I'm fucking garbage. We're not even going to talk about that. Xfinity, 13 of 19 betting cards have been profitable in 2025. 13 of 19 betting cards have been profitable in 2025. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Killing it. Absolutely killing it. So what I would advise for anybody, if you want to subscribe to the Dub Club for $8 a month, whatever it is, $6 a month if you pay the yearly, it's extremely cheap. Tail Xfinity to a T. A lot of people like, and I get it, man. If you're a NASCAR bettor, you're a sports bettor, you like to trust your own gut, and I encourage that. But a lot of people, you know, I see messages from people on Instagram a lot, and even Twitter, and mentions. A lot of people will just take my outright bets, but my heavy lock top 5, for example, last week, Christopher Bell at Sonoma, they won't take those. They won't take Joey Logano top 10 at Sonoma. They won't take that. They just want to take the outrights, and then they sprinkle their own intuition, their own gut feels, their own research. So a lot of people don't tail the exact full betting card, and that is what promotes profit on a yearly basis, is to tail the betting cards to a T. So my point here is, if you don't want to do that with Cup, you don't want to do that with trucks, that's fine. I think trucks, we've had 17 betting cards profitable in 9 of them. 9 of 17. My advice, tail the Xfinity betting cards to a T on the unit allocations. Obviously, I encourage it for everything I bet on, because I've got the optimism and I've got the confidence that we're going to be in the green and everything. But with Xfinity, this is like historic for me. Crushing as much as I have in this particular series, up over 80 units in Xfinity in 2025. I mean, that's crazy. This series used to give me hell back in like the Gregson, Daniel Hemrick days, Austin Cindric days. It just felt a lot tougher back then, but it's been awesome in 2025, and I really appreciate the support. So not to go off on a tangent there, if you want to check that out, go over on Twitter or join Dub Club. I posted it there. Very transparent betting update. I give them almost every week now. Started including my ROI. Have made sure to do the math on that, and just trying to be as transparent as possible with you guys on the results and how everything has been. And it's been great overall in 2025, primarily due to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So to continue what I have, or what I am going to have on my betting card for Dover in Xfinity, BetMGM is going to offer 4-1 or better on Chastain and Almirola. I'm going to take it if I can get 4-1 or better. If you're looking for an alternative, let's say BetMGM moves like we think it will. Next best option is going to be BetRivers. Tough to use BetRivers because of the post-race disqualification thing. That makes me nervous. I think ESPN bet, which, by the way, rest in peace, Xfinity top 10s. Not that I think I may have only hit 1 or 2 at super speedways earlier in the year, but Xfinity top 10s have been removed, it seems like, from everything. And yet they're not up again on ESPN Bet. I haven't checked Hard Rock, but I know they haven't been around. ESPN Bet would be the next best option for Almirola. So if you use multiple books, what I would do, if BetMGM, if those lines get slashed after I bet them and other people bet them, go to DraftKings or go to ESPN Bet. Almirola is 5-1. Then you can go to BetRivers and get Chastain at 4-1. That would be your next best option if things move. You still get what basically I'm going to get at BetMGM. But I just feel like you get two Cup guys and neither one of them are the favorite. I think you got to pull the trigger. I love the momentum of Trackhouse. You want to talk about Chastain in particular? Love the momentum of Trackhouse. Trackhouse has the partnership with JRM right now. They've dominated this summer with the road course wins in Xfinity and Cup between SVG, Connor Zilich. Chastain has not run terrible, by the way. He's grinded out some good runs, and I think that he's a great play in the number 9 car for Junior Motorsports in the Xfinity Series. Eric Almirola, honestly, at this point, like, especially if you guys have seen all my betting cards for the last couple years, I'm just a sucker for betting on Almirola in Xfinity. He's so damn good in this car. And with this tire compound that they ran at Homestead, at Darlington, at high-wear racetracks, I just feel like if you get long runs, it's going to fit right into his hands. Eric Almirola, 5-1. So give me Almirola. I don't anticipate his price getting any cheaper. I don't anticipate Chastain's price getting any cheaper unless he has a big time mistake in practice or qualifying. So we're starting with those two. Now I'm going to go all the way to the bottom for my next guy. Another line I don't think is going to be around. Taylor Gray, I believe, got his, and somebody can fact check me in the comments below. Taylor Gray got his first ever NASCAR win at Dover. He still has not won in trucks. He still has not won in Xfinity. But man, has he been close at a variety of different racetracks throughout both NASCAR National Series. But he won in ARCA at Dover, I think back in like 2022, 2021. Once again, you can fact check me. I just feel like I remember that. I did not look that up this week. But he hasn't won. He hasn't won. So the one win that I remember, I think he won a few in ARCA East or maybe ARCA, the regular ARCA. Pretty sure it was at Dover. One of them, if not the first. So Taylor Gray on BetMGM is 50-1 outright. Gibbs Equipment, a track that he's run well at before. I feel like you got to take a shot at Taylor Gray. For reference, on DraftKings, he is 35-1. For reference, on FanDuel, he is 37-1. I feel like I would still put a little bit on that 35-1. But if 50-1's hanging around by the time I'm able to bet it, yeah. You're going to see it on the betting card. I'm just going with the number here. I'm going with the number in case we get chaos, in case you get that finally that breakthrough finish, that breakthrough run from Taylor Gray. I'll be happy to have that 50-1 ticket. So we're going to add him to the equation. Ryan Truex is 25-1 range, 25-1 on BetMGM, 35-1 on DraftKings, and 42-1 on FanDuel. Man, that 42-1 is very tempting. He's in Sam Hunt Equipment. That obviously makes me nervous. Makes me want to stay away, but the guy has won this race 2 years in a row in Toyota Equipment, and he's 42-1. People are going to bet it. There's no doubt. Am I going to bet it? TBD. But I kind of like the way I'm building this card because you give me two Cup guys. Go ahead, hit the outrights on them. Taylor Gray and Gibbs Equipment at that price. Now, I mean, you just have wiggle room. And I know my next guy is going to be a very popular bet this weekend because of the run. People are going to go back and watch a race from 2024 and be like, oh my God, this guy was so good out of nowhere. Now he's coming back as a full-time guy. He's going to win. Too many people are going to bet on him, so he's not going to win, but I'm going to bet on him too. That's Carson Kvapil in JRM Equipment. was only a few laps away from winning this race after the late race chaos that I mentioned earlier in the program. Carson Quapple is 17 to 1, 16 to 1 on DraftKings. I see 17 to 1 on FanDuel. It's a good line. You know, I also talked about the tire compound we're running for Xfinity. It was run at Darlington, Homestead, Bristol, and somewhere else. Carson Quapple at Bristol, I'm just saying. You know, if you want a track comp, kind of, you can go with Bristol. Kind of. Carson Quapple at the end of that Bristol race where Kyle Larson won was the fastest guy on the track. I kind of like, and I think, you know, I want to double check this. I think Carson Quapple ran really well at either Darlington or Homestead, maybe both. We're going to double check that. I'm pretty sure at one of those two tracks he had a top 5. It gives me some more confidence in this guy that he's run well here before, almost won. The tire compound he's run at, or the tire compound that's running, he's run well with in 2025. Let's see, Homestead, Carson Quapple, P10, Darlington, Carson Quapple, P5. There it is. That's what I thought. And then I think this tire also ran at Nashville, Quapple, P9. Justin Allgaier was really good in a couple of those races. Still not buying it. Anywho, look, everybody and their fucking dog is going to bet on Quapple this weekend. So there's like no chance that we win just because of that. But I'm going to go with my intuition. I'm going to go with the eye test. I'm going to go with what we know based on his results at Dover in 2024 and what he's done in 2025. Carson Quapple could be a good underdog winner this weekend. 17 to 1. Over on FanDuel, you're going to see it on the card. So that's 4 outrights that I'm going to for sure plug here before we hit practice, before we hit qualifying. I still think it gives you room for like one guy. You know, like Brandon Jones at 20 to 1. Dover has not been great to him. I think he's been on the pole a few times. I don't think he's ever been a winning contender. I think he's had a few top 5s. Maybe Sam Mayer, 15 to 1. 15 to 1 over on FanDuel. 15 to 1 is the best line that I see. Yeah. Maybe go with Sam Mayer. Ran top 5 here last year. Obviously, different team. Haas, with the rebranding, has not won yet in 2025. Maybe go with Sheldon Creed. Another guy that probably should have won this race last year. He took the lead and just couldn't hold it. You know what, man? You know what, man? I've been backing Sheldon Creed for all these years. I've gotten a lot of flack, not just for supporting the guy, but for betting on him and losing a lot, obviously, on his outright bets. We won money on his top 5. We won money on his top 3 several times. We won a lot of money on him in the Truck Series. But I will continue to support this guy. He's an awesome dude. He's got a great family. I want him to win so bad. Forget the betting for a moment. I want him to win so bad. He deserves to win. He's a great race car driver. And I think that win's going to happen in 2025. I have not given up on Sheldon Creed. I will continue to support this guy. He's a great dude. Am I going to bet on him this weekend? I don't know. But I feel like you kind of have an opening to bet another breakout guy like a Creed or a Mayer. They've run, or especially Creed with this particular tire at somewhat, I'll call them semi-similar racetracks, has run well in 2025 with Haas. So Sheldon Creed, 15 to 1, 14 to 1. I could take a stab at it. We'll see. But my point here is you get Chastain, you get Almirola, 4 to 1, 5 to 1 range. Then you get Taylor Gray at the bottom, 50 to 1. Carson Quapple, that mid-range, 17 to 1. Kind of gives you room for one more underdog type of guy, like a Creed, Mayer, Hill, at those prices between, 14 to 1, 20 to 1. I mentioned Brandon Jones, so kind of up to you on that. Only book, except for BetRivers, which I'm not going to use here because of the post-race inspection stuff. ESPN Bet, I'm not going to be able to use this weekend. But DraftKings has top fives. They're terrible. They have top threes. They're terrible. You know, I when it comes to races that Almirola's in, I love to hammer like a even money plus, you know, maybe like a minus 120 top five. It's always a great certainty that Almirola is going to run around the top five, in the top five, compete for a win. His top five is minus 200 on DraftKings, so they're not playing around with this one. Top five odds suck. Maybe William Sawalich, after a great run at Sonoma running P3, you get 5.5 to 1 for top five. A track that I believe he's run at in ARCA. 6 to 1 over on ESPN bet. Jake Finch, got to give him a shout out. He is running the number 17 car this weekend. I met Jake in Talladega. Great dude, great kid. I'm not going to bet on him, but hope he has a good run. I think he's running ARCA this evening too. So Raja Caruth, love Raja Caruth. He's in this race for Jordan Anderson in the number 32. Hope he has a great run as well. Good friend of the program. But in terms of the betting odds, they're pretty brutal in terms of positionals. So that's all I got. I'm just going to roll with those outrights. Almirola, Chastain, Taylor Gray, Carson Quapple, and either Creed or Mayer leading into the weekend for Xfinity. So can't stress enough. Tail the full card, and more often than not, way more often than not, you're going to come out a winner in the Dale Club. So keep that in mind leading into the weekend. But now we will shift to Cup for the AutoTrader EchoPark 400 Dover Motor Speedway. Shout out to everybody that's going to be out there in Dover. I really want to get back there. Dover, from all the tracks that I've been to, and I've been to the majority of them in the U.S. On the NASCAR schedule, Dover is the most underrated. By far, the most underrated. Dover is a fantastic time. Excuse me. It is an amazing place to watch a race. I love Dover, and I really would like to get back there soon. Kind of a tough time of year for them. They usually have this race in May. Weird schedule flip to have it in the middle of summer. Either way, love that place. So hope you guys, if you're going out there, have a great time and enjoy the casino too. Straight from the top, I've got a betting card written out that I plan to actually bet on. You know, it hasn't been a priority to me to bet early in the week. There just has not been substantial line movement across the board. At least substantial line movement that affects what I'm going to bet on, you know. So obviously FanDuel, I tweeted about this yesterday, top 10s. Zane Smith, top 10, always calling my name. And I feel like I'm going to go back to it, 14-1. When you look at his last few oval performances, he's been right around the top 10. Tracks like Kansas, Michigan. Didn't have a great week at Pocono, but when you look at a bunch of the last few ovals, you want to throw Atlanta in there. The dude has been running well. I think Zane Smith, 14-1 top 10, worth a shot. I'll start with that. But let me go. At this point, I'm just giving money away, I feel like. But it's going to hit. It's going to hit this time. For all the road courses, all the crazy shit that happens at these left and right-handed courses, you're not going to get that this weekend. I think Zane Smith, on speed, will be around the top 10. Because that's what we've seen. You know, I want to look at his past. People, a lot of the subscribers are probably like, dude, you're betting on Zane Smith again? Give it up. Give it up. Let's look at Zane Smith on the ovals over the past, I don't know, 6 oval races. Atlanta, P7. Pocono, P25. Like I said, did not run well there. Michigan, P7. Nashville, P13. Charlotte, P39. He crashed while running around the top 15. Kansas, P16. Texas, P17. Dega, P19. And you're probably saying, well, these aren't top 10s. Well, he's running, for a guy that's 14-1, he's running well in the top 20 in most of these races at a variety of different ovals. Zane Smith, 14-1 top 10, worth a shot. That's all I'm saying. Am I going to lose on it again? Are we going to lose on it again? Probably. But the 1 week you don't tail is the week we're going to fucking win. So remember that. Let's talk about outrights. 5 outrights that I like leading into the weekend. Chase Elliott, 12-1 over on FanDuel. This has been a great track for Chase Elliott. He's been so consistent all summer, so consistent all year. He's knocking on the door of another win. I love momentum. I love the fact that Chase Elliott runs really well at Dover, won here multiple times, and he's won here in the Gen 7 era. It's been a good track for him. 12-1 leading into the weekend. I don't expect them to qualify well, but I don't expect crazy line movement either. So I feel like 12-1 is fine. I don't think you're going to get anything crazy happen. I mean, I don't know. You know, I say this, but man, they just suck at qualifying, dude. Excuse me. They suck at qualifying. They do. They go out late in the order, which makes me think they're not going to win the pole, but I feel like they're going to qualify well enough to warrant betting now and not later. Issue is, I mean, the more I talk about this in my head, they could go out and qualify fucking 27th. I mean, they're so capable of qualifying poorly. So if there is one outright you could wait on, maybe it's this one. I feel like I'm just going to go and bet it. I feel like they're going to qualify well. Good track for Chase Elliott. I don't think you're going to see anything worse than 14-1, maybe 16-1 at the absolute worst for Chase Elliott. I think they're going to have a good Saturday. I'm going to bet it before. But if you want to wait on this one, maybe get some CLV. I get it. Ross Chastain, 14-1 on FanDuel. Have to do it. He could sweep. He could sweep this weekend. Been a good track for him. This team, this driver, they've been good on concrete overall in the Gen 7 era. Kind of all over the place in qualifying. I feel like this is going to be a place where they qualify well and they're in the mix early and often. Chastain, 14-1. Alex Bowman, 22-1 on DraftKings. Definitely going to go ahead and pull the trigger on that. This has been a great track for Alex Bowman overall. Only has won here once. I know he hasn't been a big winner in the Gen 7 era, but he's run well enough in 2025 at tracks that he's been good at in the past that I think it warrants an opportunity here. So give me Bowman, 22-1. We're going to take a flyer on it. I'll go and tell you right now, too, before I move on to the next guy, Hendrick Motorsports overall in this summer stretch. I know Chase Elliott won in Atlanta. Outside of that, been very, very quiet, especially with Kyle Larson and William Byron. Don't be surprised if they come out here to Dover and put 3 cars in the top 5. That would be my bold prediction. Now, how bold is it? I mean, based on how this summer's gone, I think it's pretty bold. Bold prediction, Hendrick Motorsports puts 3 in the top 5 at Dover this weekend. All 4 in the top 10. That is my bold prediction. Kyle Busch, I think, is worth a shot at 30-1 on BetMGM. I think Kyle Busch, RCR, well, in particular, Kyle, has been pretty damn good here in the Gen 7 era. I like the uncertainty with the new tire. I feel like maybe that opens up the playing field for some of these underdog guys. Maybe Kyle Busch comes out. He won the pole here last year, finished top 5. I think KFB's got a good opportunity this weekend. So Kyle Busch, 30-1 on BetMGM. Let me make sure that line is still there. It is probably going to move a lot. I'd bet down to 25-1. Pre-practice, pre-qualifying. I think it's worth a shot. So DraftKings is 22-1. BetRivers is 24-1. If you really have to go there, then sure. I'll check ESPN Bet. Wow, ESPN Bet has 20-1. Yeah, I'd bet down to 25-1 for KFP. Overall, been a great track for him career-wise, and in the Gen 7 era, they've come here with good race cars, which you cannot say that about a lot of racetracks in terms of that number 8 team. They have not consistently gone to a lot of racetracks with good race cars. Since Kyle Busch has been in that 8 car, they've come here with good equipment. Giving KFB 30-1 on BetMGM. And Josh Berry, 55-1. I'd bet down to 45-1. 55-1 for Josh Berry over on DraftKings Sportsbook. is, they haven't been great since the Vegas deal. It's obviously been a tough summer because we've been on road courses nonstop. But Josh Berry, I feel like, these tracks that he's run really well at in Xfinity, he's won here in Xfinity. I feel like I'm going to take a stab if you're going to give a price like that. I feel like Josh, he's got experience here running with two different teams. I think Josh Berry 55 to 1 is just worth a sprinkle. Worth a sprinkle, like 0.2 units. Worth a shot. So that's what I have for outrights. Elliott, Chastain, Bowman, Busch, Berry. Most of these guys you can bet low unit counts on. Gives you room for practice and qualifying against someone like Blaney, Larson. Lights up practice on the averages. You want to take a couple favorites. You've got the room to do it in terms of your outrights. So that's what I got pre-practice, pre-qualifying. Top 10 bets coming up next. Zane Smith talked about it. Am I just wasting money? Yeah, fuck you. I'm betting it. John Hunter Nemechek. Been a good track for him overall. Ran top 20 here last year. Clearly, there's been a jump for legacy for John Hunter in performance. I mean, when he's running well on the road courses, that's a good sign for that team. Think about what's on the line here as well. In-season tournament challenge. I know he's going up against Ty Dillon. I think Nemechek's going to win that if he doesn't wreck. But I feel like there's a lot of motivation in that camp right now. I think they could come out here and run top 10. 14 to 1 on FanDuel. Absolutely worth a shot for John Hunter Nemechek to finish in the top 10. I'm betting it. No question. I love the stakes of the $1 million on the line here. You're in the Final Four, that in-season tournament challenge. You beat Ty Dillon, you move on. Don't just beat Ty Dillon. Beat him by a lot. I think Nemechek could do that this weekend. Stay on the lead lap. Stay in the top 15. Legacy has had a really strong... They haven't gotten the finishes every single week. But over the past 8 to 10 weeks, Legacy Motor Club, a lot quicker, a lot better, in a much better, quicker, faster position than they were in this spot in 2024. Give me Nemechek, 14 to 1, top 10. And I talk about RC. If I'm going to bet on Kyle Busch and bank on, them RCR bringing good cars to the racetrack this weekend, I can't pass up an Austin Dillon 22 to 1, top 10. Hasn't been a great track for him, but he's got a lot of top 20 finishes. He has a lot of finishes where he's been in the conversation. I like the uncertainty with the new tire. You never know. Could get someone, could get a team, a few drivers that come out here and overperform. Surprise some people. 22 to 1. I'm looking at the price primarily for 83. Now, this is going to be potentially the heart of the betting card this weekend. I talked about Josh Berry earlier. Ryan Blaney, once again, top Ford, minus 115 on DraftKings. Ryan Blaney's fantastic. He's had a lot of bad luck this year, though. How many times have we rode the top Ford train? And we've won a few times. How many times have we rode the top Ford train and a faded Blaney and he goes out and fucking wrecks? And even when we haven't, I looked earlier, last 8 oval races, Ryan Blaney's been the top Ford in 3 of them. 3 of 8. In the last, minus 115. I just look at the price and it blows my mind every single week. We know he's the best Ford. We know he runs well at Dover. But my God, we have some uncertainty here with a new tire. We have a lot of bad luck with this number 12 team. Last week, running top 3 gets wrecked by Chris Buescher. Who the fuck gets wrecked by Chris Buescher? Nobody gets wrecked by Chris Buescher. What are the odds of that happening? Gets stuck on the hill? Terrible day. Doesn't get the top Ford. So here's what I'm going to do. I talked about Josh Berry earlier. If Penske has speed, if Blaney has speed, maybe Berry has speed. We took the sprinkle at 55 to 1. DraftKings, Josh Berry top Ford at 10 to 1. I'm thinking in my mind, let me take these competitive guys at 10 to 1 or better. Ryan Preece, 10-1 top Ford. We're kind of up in his hometown area. Ryan Preece in worse equipment has hung around here and gotten some decent runs at Dover over the years. So you can take his top 5. I mean, he's been a top 10 machine in 2025. He's been so good. You can take his top 5 at 6-1 on DraftKings. His top 10, I feel like I was hoping you'd get like 2.5 to 1. His top 10, like on DK, is 2-1 on the dot. I think BetMGM had plus 220. I mean, that's an option. That's a hammer option right there. I just don't want to hammer any particular bet until I see practice or qualifying. Yeah, plus 225 on BetMGM for top 10. So you can take that, or you can take his 6-1 top 5, or you can bet his 10-1 top Ford. If Ryan Blaney has a problem, it's fucking wide open. Joey Logano has not run well here in the Gen 7 era. Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski, kind of back and forth. Buescher's been pretty consistent here overall, but they did not run super well here in 2024. Ryan Preece, Josh Berry, both at 10-1 top Ford. It just feels like a steal to get those. I really, really like pairing those with a Zane Smith top Ford at 40-1. So, as I said, I feel like that could be the heart of the betting card. I'm just not as high on Blaney. Definitely not high on Logano. I mean, they've been fucking terrible at Dover in the Gen 7 era. 5-1. RFK, you could make the argument again that Ryan Preece has been the best RFK driver in 2025. Consistently ripping off good runs. Consistently right around the top 5. At a variety of different racetracks, super speedways, 1.5 miles, road courses, street, they have just figured out. Ryan Preece, this driver, just has it figured out. You want to go even deeper? I mean, look. 55-1 to win the race on DraftKings. 50-1 on FanDuel. 80-1 to win on BetMGM. Why not? I just feel like, and this isn't a feel, this is an eye test over the years. I don't care what generation of NASCAR, and I don't care what series it is. If you run up front consistently, eventually you're parking it in victory lane. I think Ty Gibbs is going to win eventually. I think the two outliers here, at least in our generation, are Taylor Gray and Sheldon Creed. It just seems like no matter what they do, they just can't win. In Cup, though, I think it's still early for Ty Gibbs. He's eventually going to win, but Ryan Preece is right there, man. I'm telling you, this 60 team is dialed in. I said I wasn't going to talk about qualifying, but I'll throw in Ryan Preece to win the pole, 28-1. I think the pole time is going to be won earlier, maybe middle of the session, because of the way concrete is, the way this qualifying format is. I think as more cars hit the racetrack for qualifying, we're qualifying in the middle of the afternoon in Dover, Delaware. I think the times are going to slow down. Ryan Preece, 28-1, I think could be a good bet for the pole. Based on when he goes out, just worth a sprinkle, right? But I think Ryan Preece is the ultimate underdog at Dover this weekend. And I may have talked, look, I've got the top Ford. You know, it's a big bet if that wins. But I might plug the outright too. What's the best line we can get on his top 5? Let's find out. If he's 80-1 on BetMGM, I would guess BetMGM has better than 6-1 for a top 5. And they do. 9-1 for a top 5. I might just ladder all these Ryan Preece bets. This could be... Am I talking myself into being a degenerate? Am I just looking at the numbers? No. There is foundational research to warrant betting on Ryan Preece this weekend in multiple areas. I believe. Yeah. I think we're going to do it. Anywho, that's what I have. Chase Elliott, Chastain, Bowman, Busch, Berry, outright. Think we might add Ryan Preece to that. 80 to 1 on BetMGM's crazy. Top 10, Zane Smith, John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Dillon. Top 4, Josh Berry, Ryan Preece, Zane Smith. So this would be about 6 units leading into the weekend. That's not bad. You see my betting cards in Cup. They're between 12 and 16 unit betting cards in total. Pretty heavy. So, you know, have 6 units down heading into the weekend is not crazy. Some people might be like, whoa, that's a pretty big betting card. Not really. If you look at all my betting cards throughout the year. Anyway, yeah. I think I've talked myself into Ryan Preece this weekend in other areas. 80 to 1 on BetMGM. They run top 10 almost every fucking week. Telling you. Eventually, 1 or 2 things are going to go your way. Are going to go slightly differently. And the closer you are to the front, if you're there every single week, you're going to catch that break and find a way to victory lane. Arguably been the best RFK team all year long. I'm going to say one more thing too. You look at the playoff standings and you see Chris Buescher's ahead of him by 30 points. Remember, Ryan Preece had a big penalty earlier in the year. They got DQ'd. I think it was it Talladega? I think they had like a 25, 30, or 50 point penalty. So it really tells you how good they've been. I know they only have 1 top 5. But they are flirting. They are flirting with greatness on that 60 team. So that's what I got. Subscribe to dubclub.win. Very cheap. To see all the full betting cards with specific unit allocations. As I said earlier, we are 95.5 units in the green for 2025. Looking to keep that rolling. Do we have IndyCar odds? Because IndyCar is in Canada. That's a fun one. Indy Toronto. Can we make a parlay? Yeah, we do have odds. Okay. Kyle Kirkwood was fastest in practice earlier. Yeah, why not? Let's make a parlay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make a parlay. All right, DraftKings only has outrights. Let's see if BetMGM has some props for IndyCar. Nope, they only have NHRA. All right, well, it's going to be DraftKings then, because we know FanDuel won't. ESPN Bet is garbage, with all due respect. All right. Let's go Kirkwood. If you get top 3s, top 5s, I love a Kirkwood top 3 or a Kirkwood podium. Maybe a Colton Herta podium. Let's go Kirkwood. Let's just do an outright here. But we will pretend that we can make this with a top 3 as well. Now we go to the Cup race. Let's go top 5 and do Alex Bowman. I feel like it's going to be a really good weekend for those guys. I think plus 275. A little expensive for a straight bet, but for a parlay, love it. And then top 5 for Xfinity. This is tough. The odds are bad. You know, I just don't see a world. I do not see a world where Chastain doesn't run top 3. There's a parlay. So maybe we would replace the Kirkwood outright with a Kirkwood top 3. That'd be your one difference. Yeah. Bowman top 5 in Cup. Chastain top 3 in Xfinity. Kirkwood win or top 3. Really like that. Okay, now let's just do a crazy outright. Crazy outright parlay. Let's go Almirola to win Xfinity. Cup. Cup is tough. Like if I had to pick one guy, I'll go Larson for the sake of the parlay. I think Larson's going to be good this weekend, by the way. I just want to wait and see how they are in practice. And we'll go Kyle Kirkwood. 100 to 1. 100 to 1. For an Almirola win Xfinity, Kyle Larson win Cup, Kirkwood to win Indy. Now we can do let's do a degenerate Cup parlay. I love that DraftKings will let you do these. Let's stick with that. We'll go Larson outright. Who's going to be a good top 3 guy? I said Hendrick's going to have several in the top 5. We'll go Byron. Byron led a bunch of laps here last year. Byron top 3. Bowman top 5. And then we need a good top 10 bet here. Nemechek top 10. Oh man, that is a degenerate parlay. $100 wins what? 57 grand? I like that. Larson win, Byron top 3, Bowman top 5, Nemechek top 10. We're just playing around. This is no guarantee that I'm going to bet these, but I just want to put degenerate ideas in your head. Now, let's do a manufacturer parlay. Elliott top Chevy. Priest top Ford. Toyota is interesting to me this weekend. I know Denny's been good here. I don't know where I want to lean. Fuck it, dude. Just do that. Chase Elliott top Chevy. Priest top Ford. 65 to 1. You want to get crazy with it? We'll throw Denny top Toyota. Now it's 150 to 1. But if you don't want to do Denny, Bell has not been great at Dover. Reddick is, I think he ran well here last year and hasn't been great. Let's go Briscoe. Elliott top Chevy, Priest top Ford, Briscoe top Toyota. 428 to 1. $50 wins you a soft 21 grand right there. All right, we made some parlays. At your own risk, try them out. All right, guys. Once again, I appreciate everybody's patience last couple weeks. A little bit of a break from the Dale Center, but I appreciate the hell out of everybody that subscribes to this channel. As I always say, if it helped you win some money, please like, share, subscribe here on YouTube. We're so close to 2K. I got to do better at uploading more videos to get that 2K number, but appreciate the support. Check out Advanced. Check out Grid Rival. Check out Dub Club. The Dale Club is rocking and rolling into the Monster Mile this weekend, and we're going to keep it rolling after that. So everybody have a great weekend, and thank you for watching Dale Center NASCAR Betting here on YouTube.